and we're going to go ahead and get started. So first things first, I wanted to start with a video that I showed in, I think it was either April, maybe March, April, around web video conferencing etiquette. So we're going to start off with that. This is just a good quick overview. It's funny, and I think we've all been through this, and this is sort of going to be the basis of what we're going to go over in both of these platforms. So I'm going to go ahead and going to pull this up. Uh-oh, not this. Going to go ahead and pull up this. All right. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to make this bigger. And can everybody hear?
Don't think we're getting audio off of it.
Okay, hold on one second. You're not getting audio. First things first. Include computer sound. All right, you guys should hear it now. Sorry about that. Can you guys hear now?
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Yes.
Paul? Hey, Paul, can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Tyler.
Sorry I'm late. Having a hard time connecting.
1 second. Paul's having sound issue.
I can't hear you. Try adjusting your output settings.
Can you hear me?
It's the gear icon.
Tyler, are you on hotel Wi-Fi?
Yeah, well.
Never mind, I got it. I just had to change a few settings.
Great. Maybe we can get started then. Great.
I think your mic is picking up your speakers.
My mic?
Do you have headphones?
You want me to put them on?
No, I want you to smell them. No, I want you to put them on. Hey, Beth.
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. I had to download a new version of the platform.
You should plan extra time for the updates. There's pretty much one every time.
Sounds like someone just joined.
Hey guys, it's John. I had to call in. I'm stuck in traffic. Have I missed anything yet?
No, it would have been nice for you to join the rest of us, but we'll see you when you get home. All right, while everyone is here, finally, Tyler, do you have that financial report?
Well, it's been the last few weeks updating our books, and I got some great news for you. Schedule from this point last year. We had a great Q1.
We lost Tyler, I think.
Am I frozen?
Hey, Trip, I think we lost Tyler.
Yeah, I know, we lost Tyler.
Hey guys, it sounded like Tyler was cutting out.
We know, John. All right, while we wait on Tyler, why don't we go over all of the reports from... Beth, are you with us?
Oh yeah.
Okay, everyone, I know some of you have to leave soon, but I just wanted to go over a couple of the curious reports. Okay, excuse me. My wife's out of town this week. Daddy's, I'm so sorry. Okay, you just spilt grape juice on the carpet. Daddy's in a meeting. Tyler, can you go over the numbers one more time, please?
I thought Beth had an adjustment. Hey, Beth.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, that's my iTunes.
Hey guys, hang on. I'm gonna join in. Hey, what platform are you guys on? Skype? FaceTime?
It's in the invite.
Oh, never mind. I see it. It's right there in the invite.
Okay, now I can see everybody. Let's reschedule and let's just do a regular old conference call, okay? Paul, can you have David send out the 9-digit passcode?
I heard you.
Yeah, he's been here the whole time.
All right, everybody. I'll see you later.
Okay, so I can say I've been on several conference calls ever since this has started. That is something very similar to that. And so what we're going to do, we're going to go over, how to mitigate these issues on every single platform that we have, and some basic rules that we've tried to put in place within the internal IS team that we're sharing with everybody within the entire LBMC family of companies. So. First and foremost, we're going to go over this meeting window and what we can do to mitigate some of those issues. Let me dismiss this, and I'm going to share. We're going to share this. All right, so one of the first things that I highly recommend for everybody to do during meetings is you always want to keep your participant window up. You saw at the end when they were asking, whoever, Tyler, whatever his name is, to add somebody or to, schedule another meeting. And that individual happened to be on the meeting already. This has definitely happened, and things have been said that weren't meant to necessarily be said in front of the people that were in the meeting. So sometimes people forward meeting invites, don't know that certain people are on certain distributions lists, anything like that. And so when you have a meeting, you have a whole bunch of people within your meeting, and you you say something that wasn't meant to be said, or you say something to somebody who might not need to hear it, you're going to be running it. You could run into issues both legally or just something that wasn't meant to get out to certain employees or certain even certain clients that we work with directly. So you want to make sure that you always know who's in the meeting and if they were invited. Obviously, as you guys see here, we have 32 people in this meeting. I don't necessarily know who's supposed to be part of this, who's not going to be part of this, but we're also not going to be sharing any confidential information in this meeting, so that's okay. And this was an open invite, but you want to make sure that within Teams, this button right here is always clicked, and so you can see the participants. For the most part, you're going to be able to see everybody like on the screen here. And I'm going to go through a couple different views that Microsoft Teams also has, and then you can see them down here, but you also have that plus 12. And then in WebEx, you're going to only see a select amount. You're not going to be able to see as many people as you normally would, as you would in Teams. So just very important to know. Also, I know right now we don't have the call-in capabilities for Microsoft Teams, but that is coming very soon into pipeline. And so I would say within the next month, we're going to have those call-in capabilities. And so we definitely want to make sure that we know who's calling in and who's on the call. Because once that call-in comes in, their name might not be associated with that, like what we see in WebEx. So you want to make sure you know who's on the call and who's not, and so nothing confidential or high level is said when certain people don't want to hear it. Also, another easy way to have a conversation within Microsoft Teams, and I see that we've done it already. Here is the chat feature. This is a great way to keep your meeting going, and then you can always bring up notes. You can always add information here on the chat because you're going to be able to pull up this information here at a later date. And so you'll be able to see this. We're going to go through this, how to pull it up again, but you guys seem like you guys are pretty knowledgeable about how to do this. So as you see, Jenny just chatted, "Hi, Craig." And this is going to allow, the speaker, whoever's presenting, anybody to continue to go, continue to present, shall I say, with people being able to sort of have this other conversation on the side, maybe add notes, things like that. But great way to keep this meeting going, but you can always have this chat on the side that you can always refer back to as well. This is what I really love about Microsoft Teams, being able to refer back to this chat even after the meeting's over. Let's see. Another great way, you guys, everybody here is muted. Everybody's doing, that's wonderful. But sometimes when you're in these meetings, you want to chime in. You want to, let the speaker know that you have a question, that you want to add something like that, but you don't want to necessarily break up their flow. I love the easy access to this feature within Teams, the raise hand feature. So you just click it. You'll be notified that somebody raised their hand, and all of a sudden now I can go back and I can say, hey, Morgan, you had a question because you raised your hand. It can stop me. It can give me the heads up without you chiming in and trying to stop the presenter. When it happens. And as you see, Morgan raised her hand, and she came to the top of my list, letting me know that there is a question, and she keeps lowering it, raising it, lowering it, raising it. That's okay. And so this is a great feature, and I love this feature, and it's definitely a feature that when you're having these internal meetings, I would highly, highly recommend using. Let me get a lower my hand. Another great feature that I love with Microsoft Teams, especially when you're having these big meetings, might not necessarily be with clients, but sometimes you are going to be in front of a lot of clients, are these different window views. And so if you guys wouldn't mind turning on your cameras for me, I'm going to show you guys some of these different views that you can have within Microsoft Teams. Okay, so as we're getting more people turning on their cameras, so you can go to more options, and so your default is going to be gallery, and the gallery view is going to be 9 people, and then you're going to have yourself down at the bottom, and that's what your default's going to be. What Microsoft has done, they have added the large gallery preview, or large gallery view, excuse me, where you can see up to 49 people on your screen now. And so this will give it a more together experience. And then again, 49 people you can see on their screen. Now, once you do add more and more people to your screen, what you're going to notice is you're going to see bandwidth issues, and your video quality is going to lack a little bit, but it does give you this great, wonderful tool where you can see everybody who's in your meeting, up to 49 people. So I love that, and sort of gives you another sense of togetherness here. Another view that they did offer is going to be this one here. It's called Together Mode, and this one sort of gets you into more of a lecture setting where you are, you're sitting in a lecture hall, and so everybody has their own assigned seats, and it's sort of like you're sitting in the multi-purpose room or whatever. But again, this gives you that feeling like you guys are all in the same room, and that you're, it gives you more of a, we're all in this together, in the feeling that everybody's been sort of craving ever since March. We'll change out of that, and then we'll go back to this, to the We'll just go back to the regular view. So um, another thing that we want everybody to be cognizant of is going to be specific backgrounds that you have. You know, in a meeting like this, you know, what's happening in your background doesn't really matter. I always like the blurred view, and that's just because I have a toddler at home, and there's usually toys and everything else all over the place, and sometimes you see him running by. You know, if he somehow makes it upstairs, but you can always apply background effects. Microsoft has done a good job with some of these background effects, but again, if you're going to be working with clients, you want to make sure that it is professional and represents LBMC as well. If you do notice, in the 1, 2, or 3 weeks ago, we sent out a where to get our LBMC specific backgrounds on the hub. Located on the internal IIS website. And so we have specific backgrounds for Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, and Charlotte up there. So you can always go there, you can download your backgrounds, and they look like this. And so what you're going to do, you know, this is a great background to have, especially, you know, if you're presenting in front of clients or working with clients, you know, so you don't have that you know, whatever in the background that could be confusing and distracting as well. So we'll leave this background on. And one other like great feature that I love about Microsoft Teams and is the live captioning. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Microsoft Teams does have live captioning available. And so once you turn on the live captions, sometimes takes a minute. I don't know why they're not popping up. Oh, here we go. So it will close caption for you. Me personally, I am the Netflix and Hulu, whatever, you know, whatever I'm watching, I always have on my closed captioning. Helps me focus and always draws my attention to the screen. And so I turn this on pretty much in every meeting that I have in Microsoft Teams. So it can always draw me towards this and looking towards the screen and keep my attention on the meeting. We're going to go through, you know, what some expectations and some tricks and tips are when it comes to making sure that you're always looking at your screen and paying attention to the presentation at hand here in a little bit. But to me, the closed captioning that is included in Microsoft Teams is a great feature. And, you know, I personally, I love it, always having it on. Now, that was just well, here's a couple more things before I jump into a little bit, a couple more etiquette pieces, especially with Microsoft Teams. So you can always turn off incoming video. This is a great feature for if you are in a area, you know, or you have slow internet wherever you are, or if you are you know, like if you're using your phone and you're in an area with not a lot of bandwidth, anything like that. What this does is it turns off everybody's video, so you won't see it. You're just going to see a blank screen, basically. Or if somebody does is sharing something, that will be up on the screen, but it turns off everybody's video. And what that does, that saves bandwidth on your network and just makes things run a lot more smoother. As I said earlier, my parents live in Mississippi, and they live in rural Mississippi, and they have satellite internet. And so, you know, when I am there visiting, I use a hotspot for the most part, but when I do have to join video conferencing meetings, I turn off the incoming video, and I'm in an audio only format, and it works great, and I can hear everybody, and I can, you know, get the gist of the meeting, especially if there's something being shared. And so, you know, again, another great feature that Microsoft thought of and implemented very quickly, so that it can save this bandwidth and allow you to join a meeting with, however many people we have, like 40 people here. And so you're not missing anything, even if you're not necessarily in a place that has super fast internet. Up here, you guys are very good at it. You guys know how to turn off your camera and then turn off your microphone. And then the sharing feature in Microsoft Teams, it is a little funny. So I would definitely recommend that you practice it before you start using it. If you haven't used it yet, but it shares applications, but then it minimizes applications, and then so you have to go in and then reopen or re-enlarge the application. So it can be a little weird. Sometimes can catch you off guard. So I want you guys to before you especially become client facing using Teams, definitely practice it and make sure that you are comfortable with it because sometimes it can easily fluster you when you are using Microsoft Teams and then you're trying to share an application and then all of a sudden it disappears from your window. You just have to go find the application, maximize it, and then they will be able to see everything on it. So don't get flustered. Always remember that. So just a couple of housekeeping notes that we wanted to share with you guys around etiquette and when you are using Microsoft Teams and WebEx. So we don't necessarily have to go through this whenever we switch over to WebEx. We highly recommend that whatever you're going to be sharing, if you are the presenter, it is on the screen that has your camera on it. Even if it is a smaller screen than what you're, whatever you're going to, whatever other screen that you might have. This just allows for more professionalism when it comes to presenting. And so, if you I have a second screen over to this side. If I was sitting here just reading all the notes, I'm not looking at the screen. It looks like I'm not engaged and I'm not, paying attention to what's happening in the meeting. So we want you guys to have your notes on the screen that you're going to be presenting from, or the application, whatever you're sharing on the screen. So you are always looking at the camera, and you're. It seems like you're more engaged with the client. Not saying that you're not necessarily engaged with the client by looking over here, but this gives you gives people the sense that you're actually talking to them, that you're more engaged with them. When you are a participant on the conference calls such as this, or working with other people, working with your team, whatever it is, one thing I recommend is turning off that second screen. So you can focus all of your attention forward. During these calls, during these trainings, we can easily lose focus and start working on something else, answering emails, solving ticket problems, whatever it is. And so you want to make sure that you are giving the presenter and whoever the utmost time, and they put it together. If they're doing this, more than likely it's for you. You want to make sure that you're giving them the respect that they need. Also, I say, minimize all applications, so it's not even tempting for you to go in and start working on them. It is, to me, being a trainer, and then a trainer, especially in this type of environment where we are all, working remote, it's very easy to see when people aren't paying attention, and they're not engaged. And we try to make things as engaging as possible when it comes to the trainings, but you can only be as engaging as adults want to be. And so if they don't feel like it is going to be important to them, they don't necessarily have to pay attention. And so we want to make sure that that you are, and that any outside forces don't necessarily play into you not being engaged. One thing that we saw in the video was the very beginning was the technical issues that people were having. If somebody is having technical issues, allow the host to try to sort that out. And if you hear the technical issues that somebody's having, more than likely the host, whoever's presenting or whatever it is, they're going to hear those same technical issues as well. So they're going to try to, work with that person to work through it and try to fix those issues. I think one of the especially at the beginning, we've gotten a lot better at this as a firm, but one of the most annoying things would be when you would be on a call, like the internal IS team, we're about 20 people, be on a call or a conference, video conference. One person has their mute on and they're trying to speak, and then you get 15 people telling you that you're muted. And like, yeah, I know, blah, 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 just told me I don't need to hear it 15 times. So in general, we just say, make sure that you allow just the host or one person, whoever it is, leading the meetings to run through any technical issues and solve any technical issues for anybody else. We just, that just best etiquette, and it's less annoying for everybody within the meeting to not have 20 people say the exact same thing. And then when it does come to some recommendations that we have around your best microphone and like speakers and things like that you guys are going to be using, I highly recommend using wired headsets. I am currently using a wired headset right now. I don't know if you guys can tell that I am. They make them so small now that it's pretty hard to see. But it's this one right here, and then I also have a second earphone right in, and then I'm wired in. This is going to give you the best sound. It's going to give you the best microphone quality, and then it's going to also minimize any background noise that you might experience, especially in a virtual environment like we have been. So far. Now, obviously, if you're going to be like home alone and you're not going to necessarily get too many distractions, you don't necessarily need headphones at all. Your microphone and your speakers on your computer are they're great. They'll work and they can get you through anything. But if you're going to have a yelling kid, barking dog, and then family members walking around in the background, I'm just giving you what my day-to-day is in this house. Then I highly recommend getting a wired headset. This is one, I think, is a Jabra Plantronics. It was I think $40 on Amazon, and it works great. Now, if you are really set on using something wireless, then get a wireless headset that has a dongle USB plug-in. We have seen the most issues that we've been having with these video conferencing platforms and microphone and headphone issues are the direct Bluetooth to the computer. I don't know why, but that's been the issue, and more than we found that the usual fix is disconnecting those microphones and headphones. So if you that don't have the dongle, so if you want a wireless set, and some people do, some people just prefer it, that's totally fine, but make sure it has a dongle that you're plugging in. And then lastly, if you are using a headset with the like the normal 3.5 millimeter plug-in, just know that even if it has a microphone on it, more than likely it will not work as a microphone. So you're still going to be using your microphone that's embedded on your device, your laptop. So that being said, that microphone is obviously close to your keyboard. And could be close to your mouse as well. So that's going to pick up those those extra external sounds. So if you're hearing that clacking and things like that, and you're using the microphone from your computer, that's going to pick it up. And so that's just going to be an extra noise that you're going to be experiencing. So always keep that in mind before you start your presentation. Make sure that you have everything in place. Now, if you are somebody who likes to take notes during meetings and you want to take notes on your computer rather than written notes or whatever, just make sure that you're muted. That's the best thing, and nobody will hear you, and then you won't be distracted as well. One last thing. Yes, Jenny, you can ask your question.
Yes, Craig, I just wanted to also mention about the audio. One issue that has been occurring on occasion is, we were talking about that microphone being close to your keyboard. It also, if it's sitting closely or next to your keyboard, we have gotten some echo or vibration on the keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
And so making sure that that laptop, even if the laptop's sitting on your desk, raising it up ever so slightly allows that microphone not to echo on top of your desktop. Same goes for if your keyboard is sitting, if you have an extended keyboard or other type of device that might be touching the laptop, that's also in some cases causing some echo. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. We're going to get more into the microphone issues in WebEx. That's been our big. We've had some issues with WebEx and that platform, and so we're going to talk a little bit more about the microphone issues. But yes, those are very good points. Using your computer microphone, you can experience that vibration, which can cause that echo. But once we get into WebEx here in a little bit, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that echo. I like to call it the baby monitor echo, because that is what I am most used to it representing. Now, one thing that I do want to share with you guys is, just real quick, I'm going to, don't want that. Hold on, sorry. Stop sharing this. We're going to go into the chat. Oh, all right. Oh, sorry about that. I have some questions or some things in the chat that I did not see. Thanks for that. It is important to note. Yes. With the good. If you guys didn't see David's chat, I don't know if you guys did or not. It is very important that you guys do check your internet speeds prior to starting any meeting. And so so you might be getting these wonderful download speeds, and when you hear those, obviously you guys are the technology side of things. So when you hear those you know, these huge speeds from Xfinity or AT&T or whatever, the upload is very important as well. And so what the big speeds that you're going to hear is a download, but the upload is very important as well. So to have a good conference call, the 5 megabits per second download is very important. Really, what you should be, especially if you're in the city, you have Xfinity or you have AT&T, Google Fiber, anything like that, you should be hovering around that 10, that 10 point, but at least 5 to ensure that you're having that you're going to have a good quality for that sound. The headset that I use, I think I covered it, Deanna, but good question. So it's a Plantronics. I don't know the model number. Let me see, actually. Nope. It's a Plantronics. I'll look for it and I'll send you a quick email about it, but it's a wired headset. I absolutely love it. And yes, so and David, good point as well. If you know, taking notes, you want to make sure that you have a very quiet keyboard. I think the keyboards that we generally give you on onboarding, they're very quiet, so they're not going to pick up that clacking noise. But the keyboards on your laptop, just as an FYI, they're so close to the microphone that they will still pick up, even though it's pretty quiet. They will still pick up that noise. But yes, very good point. You want to make sure that you have a you know, if you are looking to buy your own keyboard, make sure it's a very quiet keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to post here my personal room in WebEx. We're going to move over there here in a little bit, in a second. I'm going to first take questions, but I also want to just show you guys one other thing. Maybe. And again, you guys probably know this. Already, but let me just share this desktop with you real quick. So once you're done with your meeting, and then you get back into your normal WebEx over here, you can see the chat. Sorry to embarrass you there, Morgan. They can see that you sent that you're eating breakfast, so there's no camera time for you. Sorry about that. And so you can see the chat here. You can see the entire chat function and then what was also happening within the meeting. So even after this WebEx is over, or I'm sorry, this Microsoft Teams meeting is over, you're still going to have this chat available for you to see. And so what I love about this is you can always go back, reference notes, and you know, you can see anything that happened within the meeting. And then if you you know, you're in a big meeting such as this, and you know, you necessarily don't know that that you saw a don't know that you you know, if somebody didn't join or whatever, and you were questioning them, you know, whatever it is, you can easily go back and see who joined and when as well, if you know, if you do want that. So but so you'll always be able to go back and see this. I think it stays in your chat for that 2-year period that we keep things from Microsoft. So do we have any other questions before we hop off and go to WebEx?
And Craig, this is Jenny again. I just wanted to make a note. When you did share your screen, there's an option in Teams to select desktop. There's desktop versus window. And so do you want to just remind folks that if they're sharing their screen and they want to be able to hop around, especially if it's an internal meeting, to select desktop, because that's going to allow them to hop from window to window.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So, cool. Ryan, did you have a question? I see your hand raised.
Yeah, really quick question. So when I joined into the meeting, I saw that you had, you could see everybody's cameras and stuff, but then on the right-hand side, you could also see the chat. I missed how you did that. How did you do that?
Yep. Sure. So let me do that. So you can right here show conversation, and then this will pop up on the side, and so your meeting chat will be here. So it's this little feature right here, the conversation, where you can have it up, and then you can also have that have the meeting screen as well.
All right, great, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yes. Yes. So and I didn't do that the first time. I can't necessarily. It's hard for me to be able to show that feature. But yeah, you have to have the check audio box. And so when I was sharing that video first and there was no audio, that's what happened. So you want to make sure that you include computer audio if you are sharing a video. Or, yeah, thanks, Nick. And then David, did you have a comment or a question?
He may not have unchecked his hand. So when you raise your hand, you gotta and you get your question answered, you gotta uncheck the hand by clicking it again.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So all right, we're gonna switch over to WebEx.
I'm sorry, Craig. Robert had a question about where to get the background images on the hub.
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay. So to get them on the hub, I'm sorry, I'm not connected to the VPN, or else I'd walk you through. So you want to go to the U, and if I were to hop on the VPN, this meeting would crash. So and I apologize. So you want to go to the U, go to the internal IS resource pages, and they should be, yes, thank you, Drina. She just sent it. So that's where you can find them. I'll make sure to include that on the, can show you when we get into WebEx. And then Joe just added a good point as well. Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and switch platforms. Do we want to break for a little bit, maybe like 5-10 minutes? Yes, David, Jabber, we're going to be able to make calls using WebEx Teams shortly. We don't have the timeline, but we got the approval for the lines. So not WebEx Teams, I'm sorry, Microsoft Teams. So shortly. We don't have a timeline. I was just told by Jason Boyd shortly. Cool. Why don't we just take a quick, we'll do an 8-minute break. We'll come back at 9:40 and on to WebEx Team, or WebEx, not WebEx Teams. I'm sorry, I keep saying that. I'm going to drop this into the chat as well. We're just going to go into my personal room, and we will see you guys. We'll see you guys there. And Margaret, we'll get into that. I'll answer that question here in a bit in the WebEx. So we'll see you guys at 9:40.